Hello, welcome. I freeze up on camera a little bit, I feel like, anyway. So, how is life like a dream? So, life is like a dream, in a way. And everything in the dream, in the world, is dream content, is the dreamt, including when you put your hand out in front of your face. That's dream content. When you hear the voice in your head analyzing, that's dream content. When you hear your voice speaking, also dream content. When you feel your body sensations, all of the things that you associate with your identity for a normal human, typical human, is dream content, along with nature, animals, plants, elements, you name it, within the dream, any kind of phenomenon. And this body-mind complex that we call me is no other than any other phenomenon that arises within the dream as dream content. So, theoretically, the content of the dream, the individual, can't control the dream because the content of the dream can't control the dream or the dreaming. We have an opportunity to lose interest in the dream content and see that we are not actually that which arises and appears within the dream. We are the dreaming. As content, we can't escape the dream. And as the dreaming, we can't escape the dream. How can dreaming escape a dream? And certainly the content or the dreamt individual can't escape. All the content is equally this: the mystery, the great mystery, that which cannot be conceptually grasped, that which cannot be conceptually known. The content can appear as anything, and it says nothing about you. It can appear as any sort of conditioning and trauma, any circumstance, any DNA sequence, any environment, any voice that appears in consciousness that says it should or shouldn't be this or that way. It's all equally appearing equally as dream content. You are not what is perceived. And if you can perceive your body-mind, then you know you're not that. The mind will tell you that the perceived as the body-mind is what is perceiving. But what is perceived cannot perceive. The content that is perceived is not what is perceiving. What you truly are, the mystery, is perceiving. Self cannot understand this conceptually. Self is a concept that's claiming the content is self. Self is content that is claiming the content is self. So-called self, or the content of the dream, doesn't become enlightened. Self is a practical survival tool to navigate the dream as content in the dream. Simply see the individual self content cannot get this. If you were having a dream and you were in a dream and you were running around in the woods and you saw a dream raccoon, is there any hope that that dream raccoon is going to wake up and perceive its true nature? That is what most humans are doing with this idea of individual self. It doesn't have the capacity because it's only content. It's an automaton. It's an appearance within you. The great emptiness. Simply see that the content isn't you. Attempting to escape the dream is futile. I'm reading from notes while I get comfortable on camera. Enlightenment for an individual is a myth. Clear seeing dawns when conceptual knowledge relaxes. It's seen not to refer to anything. Question the assumption that I shouldn't be suffering. The thought I shouldn't be suffering is a thought. It references nothing, actually. It's completely ephemeral. It pretty much never existed. It dies as soon as it's born, unless there is an energy that's perpetuating it. A momentum that's perpetuating it. Self is a mental action that automatically appears. There is no self to choose to do or not to do that mental activity. So attempting to wake up it's natural, and it appears and it happens, relatively speaking, but it's futile, ultimately speaking. And if it happens, it happens. Seeking has to play itself out a lot of the time when you see you're on this journey, and there's nothing wrong with it. Truly negating the content or what is perceived as thoughts breeds a resonance with wholeness. See, you are not the psychological self. It doesn't matter what the content apparently thinks, feels, or does. Ever. It never has, and it never will. It doesn't matter where you are on this path. If you're a freaking rainbow body Buddha, to make a little joke, but we've never not been the Buddha. This is innocent play. Always has been. The play is the point. The dance is the point. Nothing needs to stop or start in the content to see clearly. There's no working hard to get to this. Once you see that everything was effortless. All of it, all the suffering, all the striving. It happened automatically, without an agent. It's a very convincing illusion. Never attaining is heaven. And I know that sounds disappointing to people on the path. I know, I remember hearing that and being like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to attain this, by God. Utter hopelessness breeds dispassion and disinterest in the self, which is this thing we're calling clear seeing or enlightenment or liberation, whatever you want to call it. It's a state of utter hopelessness is what must be sort of faced. It's telling the truth so deeply. Have you ever heard that saying, the truth will set you free, but first it'll piss you off? Yeah. Clear seeing is seeing that the individual is never going to get it. Lose interest in yourself as content. See what you are not. You can't return to where you never left. There is actually no problem to solve. There never was and there never will be. Which is good because there's no one to solve a problem. You can't know what you are. Instead, simply see what you're not. It's a process of elimination. We assume the action is an entity and claim to be that action. Apparent action or motion. Concepts are only relevant to concepts. Attempts to stop seeking is only more seeking. See that you have never sought. The separate self is only real to itself. Samsara is nirvana. This is it. And it can be fallen deeply in love with. It sounds disappointing when you come from a mental structure of building this up to what you wanted, and it can't be known what it is. It has to be approached naked and vulnerable without the concepts. Just long enough to see clearly. You can't use the Buddha to seek the Buddha. The kingdom of heaven is on earth, and men do not see it.